You're now listening to the Magic the Gathering Basement Podcast with James. No Pro Tour talk here. It's all about playing MTG at home. James will go over combos, deck building, tips, and more. Isn't that what you really want to hear? Well, get your hands off your deck and let's get this podcast started.
All right, we are here with another episode of Magic the Gathering Basement Podcast. So, in this episode, I really want to talk about Magic Online versus Magic the Gathering. I think it's a good episode because a lot of people, I guess, got like a negative persona, if you will, on Magic Online. A lot of people I talk to and things, you know, when you start talking about Magic Online, hey, you got Magic Online, I do, blah, 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 blah. They kind of, well, you know, I don't like it. I don't like the format. I don't like this, that. And I kind of want to go into it and just give at least some facts, some pros and cons, you know, to both. And, you know, it gives you an idea if it's something you want to do or something you, or, you know, if you already have an online account. I know I do. And if you do have a Magic Online account, you can add me. My Magic Online account name is Dracula, and it's all capitals, DRACULAA. So it's not like Dracula the way it's spelled. It's with an extra A at the end. And you're more than welcome to go ahead and add me on there. I play pretty vividly on there. I have a good time. I do a lot of traveling and things like that. So I don't got a lot of time to have a group to come over at the house and play. And see, we're going into already pros and cons. But anyway, again, you could add me. It's Dracula with an extra A at the end on Magic Online. And, you know, I'll chat with you guys, hang out, you know, stuff. We could trade cards, whatever, have a good time. I'm pretty easy to get a hold of. But I do want to go over some pros and cons of Magic Online. One thing that I like about it, I've been online since it started. And, you know, a lot of people automatically, well, why would you repay for cards that you already have? And I guess, you know, to start out with that question is, I like to have my library. I like to be able to play when I want, whether it's 2 p.m. or 3 a.m. I don't have to go look for someone. My cards stay mint forever. And we'll go into some other things, but that's why I like Magic Online for those reasons. It's comfortable. I can kick my feet up, bring the laptop out, whether I'm traveling, whether I'm at home, and, you know, have a glass of soda next to me, watching a little bit of TV while I'm playing. I like that. Instead of, you know, either getting up, driving down to the game store, playing with a group of guys there, getting to know some guys, and then, you know, setting up time to bring them back to the house or whatnot. It gets tough, especially like if you travel, if you're in a new town. It's hard in Magic. It's hard to find a group of guys to play. If you got that group of guys, hey, it's great. I mean, you guys got the same group of guys. You guys can meet on whatever day, have a good time, play, load up your cards, have a good time. But I wanted to say the pros to Magic Online is your cards stay mint forever. You can pick up your account off any computer in the world, day or night, and play a game. You can draft. You can crack open packs. You can do everything. You can trade. It's a huge like underground world, and I like that. Another thing I like that you can't do in the real world is, for example, if you bought your Liliana Veils, as long as you have them, you can put them in as many decks as you want, and it doesn't require you to say you need more copies to continue, you know, putting them in 3 or 4 decks. If you own them, you can lace them in any decks you want and play it. In real life, you can have 4 decks that player, but you You could either take them out of the card sleeves, put them in the other deck. Takes time. You could bend your card. It's expensive. It's going in and out of a sleeve. Or you could buy it up, 5-6 times, and you're spending more money. So that's one thing I like about Magic Online. As long as you have 4 of a card, you can put it in as many decks as you want. It knows you own them, and you can do it because you can only play one deck at a time. So it's really cool. You save your decks, and that card's in there 100 times in 100 different decks. So that's I like that. A thing that a lot of people don't know at Magic Online is as long as you're playing your standard stuff, like if we're playing Kaladesh right now, if I own every Kaladesh card, 1 times everything, what is it? I think there's like 264 in that series. As long as it's still in standard, you can call Magic and you could say, I would like my Kaladesh set sent to me in real cards. And all they'll do is check the rules and make sure that Kaladesh is still in standard, and they will remove them from your account, and they will send them to you in print. I think that's really cool. Now, you can't go and get a set of Miraidon and ask them to send you Miraidon, because they're not going to reprint those cards. They're not going to make them. So as long as you have your sets, if you had 4 times, your Kaladesh, they'll send it to you, and then they take it off your account. So that's really cool. And I do that. So when I'm playing, I'll go in and I'll buy all my commons and uncommons for like $3 in the trade center, because there's bots that'll say you can buy 100 commons for $1. And I'll go get all my Kaladesh commons, and I'll do it like 2 or 3 times to make sure I get all my commons and uncommons. And then, of course, your rares, if there's a $20 rare in Kaladesh, whatever, you're going to buy that card. It's going to be a little bit cheaper. And then you're going to buy all your rares. There's bots that say you could buy 50 rares for 1 ticket. You could buy 20 good rares for 1 ticket. I can get the whole set of Kaladesh for nearly nothing other than the expensive cards. You're just going to pay for that. There's no doubt about it. And I can have it sent to me quicker and easier than me going and busting open 2 or 3 booster boxes, having tons and tons of extras, and still missing those 2 or 3 cards that I'm looking for. That I'd have to go down to a game store and probably pay still an overpriced price for the card. So those are the pros that I really, really like about Magic Online. You'll get guys that'll say, I don't like the interface. Well, the interface is as simple as you playing at a game store. There's a table. There's him across the way, and your cards on the table. I mean, it's real simple. But I guess since there's these other, card games like Pokemon and everything else, and it's real vivid and it's showing electricity and everything going on, Magic, I feel, has a great interface. It's simple. You don't need all the crazy fancy stuff going on behind you with the sound effects and the craziness. Magic the Gathering is a chess game. And for me, I don't need all that. I don't need all that crazy visualization. I want to read the card. I want to see the card. I want a nice, smooth surface to play on. And my opponent's side where I can see and go smash. So you'll get people that say that the interface isn't as elaborate as some other interfaces for some card games. I call bullcrap. It's plain and simple. It's easy to play. You put all that crazy effects in there. It's not Magic. It's not Magic the Gathering. Magic the Gathering is setting up Indian style in a basement, grabbing your cards, playing until 2 in the morning, eating pizza, not having all this crazy sound effects and these outlandish colors with lightning coming and the cards coming to life and crazy. Some people might like that. Maybe a majority likes that. But I'm trying to play the damn game. You know what I mean? And the way I'd play it in a store, the way I'd play it at my house, it's real simple interface so you can see what's going on and you're not confused. So that's another reason why I like Magic Online. Let me think of a couple others. Like I said again, you could play at 2 a.m. or 2 p.m. Any style. You can play modern, two-headed giant. You can play teams, tribal, legacy, and there's always someone online to play. Yeah, you have to pay $10 to get your account started. I get it. Yes, you have to buy your cards, but it doesn't mean you have to pay retail for your cards. You can load your account with PayPal with like $20. And what I don't advise is you to crack open $3.99 packs. You're going to go broke. You go into the trade part of Magic the Gathering where these bots have them 100 commons for $1, 100 uncommons for $1, and you can start building a library so quick. You will build 4,000 cards 10 times quicker than sometimes, in real life, cracking a pack here and there or finding someone to sell you some, like things like that. So that's why I like Magic the Gathering Online. It's a good format. It's you could play anytime, and that's, I love it. You could play booster draft, everything. Now, I guess the cons are you're not being interactive with a real person. I get that. And it's fun to be interactive with real people, seeing the cards, looking at them, having them in front of you, having your dice, and making it more of a game. Understandable. But that's why I don't really think there's a pro and con to either. I think it's great to do them both. To have your collection, play locally with the group you find. You get on Craigslist, put an ad out. Hey guys, I play Magic the Gathering. Looking for other guys that want to play. Set up on a Friday, Saturday night. Give me a call. We can set something up. That's great. I mean, you can't beat that. But in my opinion, I want to have them as both positives. I think they're both great to have. One's going to be used for a certain time where you're by yourself and, you don't get that interactivity. And then the other version is you get to have a great time with all your real cards and have a good time. But unfortunately, in the real Magic the Gathering, sometimes that's harder to come by. It's just harder to come by. Some people leave the group. They move on. They do things. They sell their cards. They're not in it as much as you were and things like that. But I definitely advise getting a Magic Online account, opening it up. They give you free cards right off the bat when you pay your $10. I think like 800 cards. That's random. And it's really cool. I mean, you get a chance to get in there, play, look at your library. Another pro I like. When you're playing Magic at home, you get a bunch of guys and the rules start becoming an issue. The rules of a card, the rules of your phases, what comes first, what's next, the rules of, I'm playing a sorcery, but I'm going to argue about you playing the instant with instant speed. I'm just saying, everything starts getting technical and it starts to be Monopoly rules because sometimes it's hard to tell someone the real rules and they don't understand it and they don't believe it. So when you're playing Magic Online with whatever deck you built and you bring it out into the real world and you play with your friends, you're going to know how that deck plays. You're going to know how it runs. You're going to know how the card in the game online, the rules are like there. You can't mess up. You just can't mess up. So you're going to know when someone tells you can't do something with that card and online it does it, if it's correct or not. So that's another really good positive about Magic Online. If you're a beginner, I really think you should play Magic Online. And I'm not saying a lot. Play it to your heart's content. Because again, it's going to give you the rules. You're going to understand the phases. You're going to understand what the card can or can't do in those phases. And it's just going to build you up to be a stronger Magic player instead of playing with a group of guys. And sometimes you play with a group of guys where no one knows what's going on. I mean, honestly, you got different levels of group of guys. You got guys that have no clue really what they're doing. They'll go to Kmart, buy cards, start putting them together, and making up all kinds of stuff. And Magic does have a long list of rules and everything. So it does get difficult, and it can be